Alright, so here's my TBS Disco. I wanted to give you all a quick shot of what I've done here with the platform. Obviously you can see something that's a little different right off the bat is I have added a gimbal. This is not a Pro, or TBS Disco Pro. This is the regular TBS Disco. I've added a homebrew gimbal to the unit. This is from Klinkeraerospace. It is a completely 3D printed ABS plastic unit, so it's very lightweight, very cost effective. The GoPro unit you see here that fits on the TBS Disco he sells for about $35. Gimbal motors, I've got two of the iFlight iPower 2208 motors. And then I've gone with from, I believe it's Whitespeed Drones, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, in between the boards here, which I know you probably all can't see. But I have their version 5 Simple BGC gimbal board, which I believe is running Alexmos software on or firmware on it. Pretty sure it's a knockoff setup. I mean, for the $25 or $26 it was, it can't be nothing more than that. So about all told and said with the gimbal board, the two motors, I'm about $100 into the setup, so a hell of a lot cheaper than upgrading all the way to the TBS Pro, which is about $600. Have my GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black on here. I went with the ready-made RC's camera lens protector. For $6.99, you can't beat it. Comes with the polarized lens, also comes with a clear lens. If you go with the layer lens route, I think they're about $20 or $24 if memory serves me correct, or maybe they were like $15. I forget exactly what they were, but I knew they were definitely more expensive than the ready-made setup. You get the clear lens with that, and you had to spend the additional cost to get the polarized lens. So I went with this for $7. Figured, hell, don't work, throw it away. I can go with the layer lens, down the road. But this seems to be working out great for me. I can't complain. So highly recommend that ready-made RC. A couple of things here that I've done to the system. I am going to be running the gimbal off of the main pack. I use a couple of different 4S packs. I've got the Nanotech 3300s, which I fly primarily. I've also got the Genzace 4000, and I don't have it out right now, but I have one from Ready-Made RC. I've got the 4200 cell 4S as well. The bigger packs definitely help balance out the gimbal on the front here a little bit, so I'll definitely be flying those more. I will show you here in a little bit, or in an alternate video. I have a 3S pack here to bring alive the gimbal and show you, but I will be running right off here off the front pack, off the front pads here, 4S pack with a 12 volt step down, step up. So I have a constant voltage always going to the gimbal here. So I'll have that once I get that in. I don't have it right now. Started out with the DJI 920 kV motors. They were alright, they worked pretty good. Since upgraded to the T motor, I think they're the 2216-11s. They're the 900 kV V2s. These are great motors. These are the ones that I believe TBS is actually rebranding themselves right now. They're fantastic motors. Love them. They run quiet, very well balanced. Prop wise, I've got two different sets of props that I'm running. I like them both. Right now I'm on my new set, which is the Xoar 9x5s. Absolutely loving those. 9x5s really seem to be a sweet spot with this quad. They're beechwood. They sound great. Very quiet. I love them. What can I say? I mean, personal preference. The Graupners, I also run the 9x5s on those. That's what I was running previously. Nothing wrong with those. Love those too. But I tried the Xoars, and I've been liking those and been sticking with them as of late. So that's all on that front. You will notice I'm running the Dragon Link system here. Off my, I run on two radios right now, though. I'm running off my Tyrannus. That's kind of my new little radio. I'm loving it. I mean, for $200 again, crazy great radio, a lot of flexibility. Can do some awesome stuff with it. It talks, which I love, especially when I'm flipping between the different flight modes and whatnot. Otherwise, alternately, before I was using my JR11X. That's also a great radio. I love it. Obviously, for the price, it should be. A couple other things. Running the NASA system, you may or may not like DJI. I happen to like DJI. I haven't had a problem with it. I've been flying this unit for over a year. No issues whatsoever on it. I do have the Immersion RC EzOSD set up here. I have the main board, which runs the OSD and normally has the GPS mounted right to it. I've taken the GPS off. That's what you see over here. I've remotely mounted it so that way I can mount the board on the other side of the top plate upside down. I still have access to all the buttons, as you can see here. Again, my big thing is I like a nice clean top as much as possible. I know it's not quite possible with all this stuff trying to jam in here, but try to clean it up as much as possible. So I've got that underneath. Underneath as well, mounted on the top plate, I've got the step down voltage regulators for the Immersion RC 600 5.8 gigahertz VTX system here, and the camera as well. So I switch between. Right now I'm running the 5.8 system on it. I don't have a problem with it. I really like the picture I get out of it. I'm not flying behind a lot of things. I do have a 2.4 system for it as well. I actually had that on there previously and took that off and put the 5.8 on there. Right now I'm doing a lot of video stuff, so I'm not flying behind a lot of things, a lot of aero photography. So I know a lot of people think, hey, that's a sin, you threw that on the TBS Discovery, why don't you just go with the Pro? Well, again, I'll go back to the original thing, $100 versus $600 for the Pro. It's pretty easy to remove this. It's 4 bolts, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Pop it on, pop them off, and I'm back to my regular TBS, and I can fly and do, you know, whatever I want to do. If I want to be more aggressive with it, I certainly can. Other than that, I haven't done a whole lot to the system. I did put lights on it. I know a lot of people do that as well. I've got 3 LEDs on each side on the front. They're blue. And then I've got the 6 LED red around the back arms as well. I have a 3 amp brushed speed control in here that I'm also running on a step down, 12 volt step down. That allows me to control the lights all from the radio, so I can turn them off, turn them on, and then I can dim or brighten the lights as well. So a lot of flexibility there, kind of like it. It's neat. People go ooh ah when they see it, you know, oh, something to talk about. Bunch of crap really, but nonetheless. Other than that, that's it. I will link out to the bottom of the video down there to give you guys the directions where if you want to pick up one of these or take a look at them. He makes them not just for the TBS Disco, but for several other quads and several other camera systems as well. The Hero's GoPro system being the main one, and then the Mobius. I'm not too familiar with that, but it's a flatter camera. He's got a gimbal for that as well on there. That's Klinkeraerospace. I'll link out to that. I'll link out to the various different components I have on here and where I get everything. Pretty much everything I get from is of a couple places, either Ready-Made RC. Love those guys. I believe they're out of Ohio. Best customer service I've had pretty much from any company, and about the fastest shipping I've ever had from any company as well. Pretty much what you order goes out within a couple hours of that. So a good shout out to those guys there. And then GetFPV.com, which I believe is out of Florida. I've had nothing but pretty good luck out of there. So I bounce between the two places pretty much when one doesn't have a product, I go to the other, and that's what I use. So those are my 2 primary resources. But this guy here, Klinkeraerospace, if you're looking for a good, inexpensive gimbal, highly recommend this guy. I believe he's a student from MIT, so always willing to help out a college student who's making some pretty kick-ass product. I can't complain. Other than that, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me.